Good morning. My name is Frank Grinnell. I've been advising professional money managers and investing in the stock market for over 20 years. It serves as my day job, but most importantly, it is my absolute passion. On Street Views, I offer my daily viewpoint on the stock market in under 7 minutes. I will cover things like the global macroeconomic picture, the mood of the market, company-specific news, secular trends with some actionable sector and stock calls. I hope my insights are useful to you, whether you are a professional money manager or a passionate investor. At Grinnell Capital, we actively manage dynamic stock and ETF models for financial professionals and their clients, as well as individual investors. If you want to learn more about what we do, send me a note, frank@grinnellcapital.com. You can also find more of my insights on Twitter @GrinnellFrank. And now, today's Street Views. Hey, good morning. It is, Thursday the 20th, October 2022. Liz Truss just resigned over there in the UK. No more PM. That didn't last very long, 7 weeks. Futures fluctuating between red and green. Germany's got a PPI number this morning at 45.8% year on year. You heard that right. UK CPI at a 40-year high. And you've got rates over here up across the curve. Yesterday, interesting to me that once Biden announced his last, most recent SPR released in front of the midterm elections, which should be illegal, crude went bid. He put a bottom in by saying that the U.S. would be a buyer at 65.70, all but guaranteeing WTI doesn't get there. In the great irony of ironies, that's just kind of how things work. We continue to be positive on energy with several positions. Baker Hughes on their conference call yesterday talked about offshore activity picking up. We added some Transocean to our energy holdings. Offshore might surprise some folks, and that's just without question like the worst area of the market. So that tends to be the last area to participate. So we'll see what happens there. Interesting positive pre-announcement, SMCI. We own a little bit of it. I wish we owned a whole lot more. Supermicro Computer positively pre-announced yesterday. Earnings 305 to 320 versus prior guide of 207 to 232. Consensus 218. Sales 1.8 to 1.82 versus 1.57 consensus. Again, we own some. I wish we bought more. Citing customer design wins ramping and our total IT solutions value. People are loving Supermicro Computer. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Check out valuation. It's going to be a big gap up today. I'm not going to sell any. I don't own enough to sell any. If I owned a bunch, I'd sell some, but I don't own enough. So it's going to be more of a reevaluation to add to it on what will no doubt be coming weakness in the broad market. Tesla. ASPs took a hit due to better sales in China. Hence top line miss. They got their semi coming out. They've got the Cybertruck, the most advanced vehicle in history of mankind, coming out. It's a little expensive, I think, in this market. Execution wise, everything looked fine. There's tons of bears all over this thing. They're going to probably try to get it. I don't know if they'll be able to do it, but they might try to be able to get it to break 200. I don't know. It seems people are just dying to add to this thing too. So for us, it's a no touch right now. Too expensive, but I'm going to watch. And then I mentioned earlier, a couple days ago, for the bear market rally, that we do like small caps, which actually are bid this morning versus a red Nasdaq. But anyway, we also talked about semi capital over semi. So my hesitation, it's hard to buy in the face of deteriorating demand for your customer, right? You've got, the memory side of semis is pretty clear, and the handset side is pretty weak as well. But the reshoring of manufacturing that is about to happen, semis are Exhibit A. That's going to be one of the biggest trends, and we've already got legislation to support, more foundries, more fabs, what have you. And there'll be CapEx. There will be, plain and simple. Semi-capital equipment, the big beneficiary there. So we're looking, we're watching, we're uninvolved except for Air Test, which you know about. That's a little bit of a unique situation. That thing is a buy on dips now. But in terms of the big guy, ASML, the Monopoly, KLA-10 Core, the amazing income statement. We'll probably swing at some point, but just not yet. Not yet. I'll let you know. But that is all. So Semi Capital over semis, not there yet. Stay tuned. Have a great day.
And now for some important disclosures. Grinnell Capital is a state-registered investment advisor. Services offered by Grinnell Capital can only be offered in certain states where Grinnell Capital is registered or meets required exemptions. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. For additional information about Grinnell Capital, including its services and fees, please review the firm's disclosure statement as set forth on Form ADV and available at no charge at advisorinfo.sec.gov. This podcast is provided for informational purposes only. The information contained herein should not be construed at the provision of personalized advice and is subject to change without notice. This material should not be considered as a solicitation to buy or sell any asset or engage in a particular investment strategy. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss, including loss of principal invested, and may not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This podcast contains certain forward-looking statements which indicate future possibilities. Actual results may differ materially from the expectations portrayed in such forward-looking statements. As such, there is no guarantee that any views and opinions expressed will come to pass. All expressions of opinion reflect the judgment of Grinnell Capital as of the date of publication and are subject to change without prior notice. This podcast contains information derived from third-party sources. Although we believe these sources to be reliable, we make no representations as to the accuracy of any information prepared by any unaffiliated third party incorporated herein and take no responsibility therefore. This podcast is provided with the understanding that Grinnell Capital is not engaging in rendering legal, accounting, or tax services, and we recommend that you seek out the services of professionals in these aforementioned areas. The principal investment focus of the accelerator model, the strategy, is to achieve strong relative and risk-adjusted returns, primarily by investing and trading in securities issued by companies that focus on the global information, technology, consumer, healthcare, industrial, and infrastructure sectors. These sectors are characterized by robust secular growth, an abundance of both new and maturing product cycles, a high degree of competition that creates the potential for relative winners and losers within a subsector or theme, a high degree of revenues and earnings volatility, rapidly changing sentiment and public perception, significant yet unrealized potential for globalization, and superior relative liquidity. Investment in the strategy is speculative and involves a high degree of risk. The second investment model is called the ignition model. The ignition model is an all-exchange-traded fund, ETF, strategy with investment objectives similar to the accelerator model. This model seeks to capitalize on long-term growth trends experienced by the market leaders in various areas and sectors. The ignition model will also seek ETF investments based on cyclical forces experienced in the U.S. and the global economy. This model is also designed to have the ability to offer some downside protection in the event of significant market stress through investments in ETFs designed to take advantage of market volatility. The strategy's performance can be volatile. Grinnell Capital has total trading authority over the strategy. The use of a single manager applying similar trading programs can mean a lack of diversification and consequently higher risk. For more important disclaimers, please visit our website, grinnellcapital.com.